It is a law of college football that only a select few teams can win the national championship, can be crowned the nation's best team every year. And upsets are rarer in college football than they are in college basketball. And yet, the powers that be, the conferences, the playoff committee, acts as if this isn't the case. And I'm sick and tired of it. It's ridiculous. We had, first and foremost, in 1995 through 1997, we had the Bowl Alliance. For about 15 years after that, up until 2013, we then had the BCS. We then had the 4-team college football playoff. And while there were some unsatisfactory semifinals and even national championship games in that, it's the same as the BCS, where some years you had blowouts. And at the end of the day, the college football playoff, the 4-team edition, produced some wonderful matchups. Last year's 12-team playoff did as well. You had wonderful semifinals, a national title game that was pretty lopsided but had some excitement towards the end, and some of the quarterfinal games were even good. But the first round games were an atrocity, of course, because the better teams were at home. They hosted inferior teams that typically had nowhere near the talent or depth or even staffs that the home teams did, and it was an entire wash. Why would you expect the 24 or 28 team college football playoff to be any different? It would not be any different. It would be even worse. Let me list you some teams who would have made the 24-28 team playoff last season from the Big Ten, because the Big Ten, for whatever reason, thought it would be genius to propose this idea. And an idea that should be thrown in the trash immediately. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you, because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership, or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. 7-5 Michigan, 8-4 Iowa, Illinois, 9-3. And I also think Minnesota could be involved in that conversation. But certainly Illinois, Michigan, and Iowa. Do any of those teams have a serious chance to make it outside of the first 2 games? No. Most of them wouldn't even have much of a shot to make it outside of game 1, if we're being honest about this. What about from the SEC? Well, you get South Carolina, you get Ole Miss, you get Alabama in there, and those teams collectively were probably better than the other 3 Big Ten teams that would have been produced in this format. But would they have had a real shot of winning it all? Maybe Ole Miss if they played the way they did against Georgia every week, but they did not play to that level for most of the year. So why would we expect them to replicate that for what now we're talking 5 or 6 straight games in this expanded format? What? Are you kidding me? What about South Carolina? With some of the issues that they had, they were hot at the end of the year, but were they really going to win it all? Same thing with, Alabama, whose offense was entirely figured out by any defense with a pulse at the end of the year. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And I got to be honest with you, I have been someone who was supportive of expanding the playoff from 4 teams to either 8 or 16. Never really liked 12 because of the byes. I just thought that byes are kind of an NFL thing. Don't let that be the case in college football. But past 16, even from purely an entertainment or what-if standpoint, I don't think it makes much sense. I don't. And if the college football playoff, the minute it was created, was always going to expand due to TV networks, due to the desperation by said networks and conferences for views, even if those views aren't the same quality or they don't carry the same excitement as views in the past did, I'll be honest, we can go back to the BCS, or we can just cap the playoff at 4 teams, or I really wish we could cap it to 8, because some years I think there are more than 4 teams who can win it all. But some years there's really only one team who can win it all, obviously, at the end of the season. So this is ridiculous. It's insane. You should not buy into it. You should not accept it. There's no way in which this is good. None. The regular season, half of which won't matter to a team like Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, to Texas, Oregon. It won't matter. They will be able to rest their starters for, in some cases, half of their games, if not certainly 25% of them, for 3 or 4 games. In some cases, more if they happen to get an easy schedule on top of that expanded playoff. It's insane. You would completely devalue the regular season that way. Completely devalue it. If you want more eyeballs, and if you want a more entertaining product than the current bowl system we have, which is awful given that the playoff has expanded and all the New Year's Six bowl games are now a part of the playoff, what you do, in my mind, is you keep the playoff where it is right now, or maybe you expand it to 16 or contract it to 8, no more, no less. And then what you do is you add in another playoff, kind of like an NIT for college football. And even then, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if that's quite the right idea. Certainly expanding the playoffs to include the entirety of the top 25 would be an unmitigated disaster. It would suck. And that, I gotta be honest with you, that would certainly cave my interest in the sport. Certainly. I would lose interest in this sport if a 24-28 team college football playoff came around. Would I still watch it? Yes, because I love this sport. Would I still cover it? I would try my best to. However, it would be a disaster. And I think that what we have right now is better. I think that we need some contentment with what college football is and always has been. It's always been a sport with drastic inequality, but it's also always been a sport where if you can get your act together and if you can do a series of things right, if you can flip switches at a certain frequency, you can become one of those programs that benefits from the inequality rather than being on the short end of the stick. It's crazy. We should not have a 24-28 team playoff in our sport. We should not try to make college football a different sport than what it is. College football, in part, is good because a program like Northwestern can never win a national championship without some unforeseen act. Same with Purdue, same with Mississippi State, same with Vanderbilt, same with Kentucky, with Maryland, Rutgers, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, like you name it. And we could go on and on with the ACC, or really at this point the entirety of the Big 12 outside of Texas Tech if they keep recruiting at the level they are. Leave college football alone. Leave it alone. If anything, I beg you, contract from what expansion efforts you are trying to produce, whether in the playoff or trying to fundamentally change the sport. Don't do it. It is as good as it gets in college football. Not saying the sport is perfect, not saying it doesn't have its flaws, but I love what we have here in college football. I love it, and I want it to stay a sport that can be enjoyed by myself, that can be enjoyed by college football fans who grew up with this sport, and that can resonate with Americans and with people around the world, and not try to turn it into a professional soccer league or a professional football, American football league. It's shameful. It's honestly very shameful what is happening to our sport right now. And you know this isn't going to stop here. It's not. It's not going to stop. And why would it stop? All they care about is views. Views generate revenue due to advertisements and how that's paid out. It's disgusting. It honestly feels like all they care about is graph go up equals good. And that is it's fundamentally flawed because you're not understanding averages. You're not. So, for example, I obviously, yeah, you have more viewership, but you have more viewership across drastically more games. And when they tried to go up against the NFL, viewership tanked. You're not going to beat the NFL because the NFL is more stable than you are. The NFL is also a bigger product because it is a bigger event in the Super Bowl. I don't understand why the current executives think that line go up for viewership equal good when there are actually fewer viewerships per games, per postseason games. They're not individually viewed as valuable as they used to be. There are just drastically more postseason games, and therefore you get more viewership. What they are doing is they are spreading their resources across a wider plane, but the resources aren't going as deep. The roots aren't taking shape. And that long term is going to be awful, because what you will do is you will turn off some diehards, and therefore the diehards aren't going to spread that tradition to other people they interact with, to their kids. And at that point, why not just watch the NFL? The NFL is better players. The NFL is more structured. The NFL is not as chaotic. You know what you're getting out of the NFL. There isn't this conflict between the fans and the owners and the executives. They're pretty much all in alignment, or they have an understanding of the power structure. Football doesn't have any of that right now in college. It's pure chaos. We don't know where the sport is going. The TV executives and the ADs and the commissioners have no connection with the fans. It doesn't feel like they want to either. And they have a totally different belief system than the fans do. It's very sad. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description. Join the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.